as I was sharing in our short, your relationship to yourself. So your first home and the first of whatever it is that you would work on, whether you're a mystic who's going through a spirituality awakening, even if you had or didn't have a Kundalini awakening, every person, or of the 8 billion plus growing people, not only do we have some that don't believe in any of this wording, ascension, so, and that's why I get to integrate the human, spiritual, and spirituality elements, because we're all basically just humans. Now, I know how to explain a lot of what has been going on for the past, I've known about ascension since 2006 and 5D. And I was really, really curious about what I would get to see once things began to unfold. I began to see that the 4D is lost in, we have an armor of God and we're here to break curses and there's spiritual warfare. So they're totally refusing the call because their stories are ancient. And they even call AI and technology evil. There you go. So they've chosen to stay within the ancient times and they get to continue sleeping throughout the winter. While some of us were going to be more awakened. So our group thinking, we know how to be ourselves and return home. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Okay, so people who have broken 3-year-old hearts, when I say that, what I'm talking about is every one of us, humanly speaking, the first 3 years of our life, if you learn about being a person, I'm learning about it because I do personal development with people. The inner growth mindset, it helps you to be you. To be yourself requires you not to twitch your nose, to know that you don't change. I mean, some people will use the word change because they talk about their growth as post-traumatic growth, and that's their journey. Some of us, we don't change. We expand to become more of us because we have a relationship with our sphere of consciousness. We stay aligned with our heart body, our value body, our physical, our energy, and our mental body. Now, these are words that I've learned from people who only focus on spirituality aspects. I learned about spirituality through Sadhguru. I'm a mystic. So the mystic stuff has nothing to do with spirituality, even though I'm sure he would beg to differ, but I don't talk to Sadhguru. I'm not into his group. I don't know. So I like to just use words that can help people understand. I have clairs. I do channeled guidance. I love tarot. I love connecting to the spheres, energy. So I love physics, in fact, and I love neuroscience, which is making me think of when I looked at a couple of different neuroscience individuals who studied the ancient cultures. Here's what they said about our brains and how they work when we're channeling. Selflessness, timelessness, effortlessness, and richness. The effortlessness is where your body, though, your human being body, will begin to experience what is called fear. Because when you're selflessness and timelessness, your body's like, where the fuck is the host of my body? And actually, that makes a lot of sense because, I love that my brain isn't an anticipatory organ. It doesn't matter if other people don't like it. I like that I know that my body and my brain protect Maria, and I want to live life. Okay, so the word consciousness, people don't break it down. It's just you being a human. It's your secondary consciousness, but here's the deal. If you don't know about your subjective experiences, and here's the other deal, and the updated information of the attachment and trauma researchers is not taken on by the mainstream psychiatry, psychology community. So unfortunately, we have bad, I'm going to use the word bad here because see, my book as a smart person, I'm stable, mature, adaptive, rational, and teachable because I use my left and right mode. So when you're a whole 3-year-old heart, it means you're a differentiated self. My name is Maria. I can link to you. I will accept that you have different thoughts and feelings. And in my body, I will maintain Shiva there so that my Kali, my 3-year-old, with my teenager can stay calm and collected and allow people to be their self. And when I get human-splained, allow myself to basically remember that some of us have limited consciousness, others have unlimited consciousness, and the limitless possibilities are for those who are curious. So I know how to have fun inside and outside. Those who don't, they get to go around shiny and follow their bad psychologists who limit everything based on ancient stories. Yeah, so again, while some people are talking about AI and technology as something that is of the devil, and people talk about the individuals who can use good therapists as the devil or evil versus those are infants that did not have an environment that was conducive to them being able to develop their brain potentially. There might be a brain structure situation. There's a lot of answers to why a person will not be able to be adaptive immediately to our society in a way that is unconditionally loving. A whole 3-year-old heart. So it's called attachment 1. We all have an attachment system. In your body, if you cannot be yourself and you twitch your nose, it means you have a defectiveness shame button. If you look at humanity, when you project that humanity is broken, that is your subjective experience from within you. Ask any person who has a whole 3-year-old heart. We will say, yes, the world is not perfect. We deal with the unknown with our right mode of the brain. We know sensations come up. We know when we see human suffering. We know when we see people being quote unquote mean to us. They're quote unquote mean because you can't actually be mean to a person who has a very good relationship with emotional stuff. It's called I'm a human, I'm alive and not dead inside, but it's also not overwhelming to my nervous system because that's the part. Your universe is you, first of all. If you did not create a relationship with your own body in a way that was securely attached, you're not going to be able to hold yourself in unconditional love and be yourself. In fact, you're going to twitch your nose like people do and think, how dare you say be myself? I need to change who I am. Oh, love will change people. Yeah, all of these words, external, external, external. So the only person who can work on yourself is you. But before you can even recognize this, you know how many people I meet, they don't recognize they're living a dysfunctional pattern because they don't know how to consistently work with the breath and their left mode when they're like, oh, life sucks. I can't get anything that I want. Okay, and that's the minimal. You know, I feel a lot sad for the people who have subjective experiences that come from having had trauma, and they actually gaslight themselves because they're living an entire, that's why that shiny is what attracts them. It's wishful thinking that is stemming from those first 3 years of life. And on that note, I'm going to put that to the side and let's get back to us. So people who are securely attached, we don't have blinders. We know how to consistently be at home in our body, which is why we speak up our emotions. We cry. Even if somebody's like, oh, what are you going to cry now? Oh, we're going to still cry. They'll be like, yes, I'm crying. Can you see that I'm crying? Is that a problem? Do you have a problem with emotions? Because see, I'm not dead. Or how about this? When you don't do drama and they're like, you must have no emotions. You're so indifferent. No, we just know how to handle our hermit shit in a fun way, by the way. Because our group thinking, here's what. You don't lose a compass when you maintain alignment with Purusha Prakriti. So all the words from spirituality and the words from the metaphysics as esotericism in the middle, when you look at the good mental health professionals and what you find out about trauma, one, ascension energies, it's not DNA upgrades like that. No, shit comes up. If you handle it with your own prefrontal cortex, which means you do intrapersonal intelligence first, if you can't understand that you have a pattern, and so if you self-soothe, sex, drugs, alcohol, food, gambling, procrastination. There's a bunch of different perfectionism. The shame cycle is inner critic, outer critic, and then denying. Denying doesn't mean you don't know. No, it means I'm going to go self-soothe in a different way versus say, you know what, I have emotions. I'm going to breathe. I'm not going to pout too much. I'm not going to not pout. I won't ruminate in the biochemistry of fear. I won't surrender to some invisible hand of anything. I will know that my attachment system are charged parts. We all have charged parts. Every one of us has the 0-1-year-old. So when that longing and the pit and other things come up, once you've healed, by the way, trauma memory, if you have childhood trauma, if you have the shame defectiveness, first you need to get out of the broken 3-year-old heart because otherwise you didn't choose yourself. You're not saying I'm worthy. You don't even know the healthy self-worth yet, which is you're not superior in fear. We're all imperfect and flawed. Compassion is healing of trauma because you have self-compassion and compassion. And then we look at each other like adults. Adults emotionally. As a teenager, I was still an adult. You're whole. I'm whole. Don't treat me like shit. But if you do, better bet I will know how to handle myself in the way that my heart, body, and value body chose, which is with respect because you're a person. And I will not be treating you in a way that I will not want to be treated. Emotionally, the heart stays open when you choose that because you don't have a trust break towards humanity or people because, see, here's where those who are not securely attached, they don't know how to feel safe to be their self. We teach by leading as an example. You're compassionate when you're a Zen master of you, my 5D mystics, functional adults, join us. Enlightenment, soul, age group, inclined people, join us. It's the IHP community. We have new stories and not the ancient stories, which are really boring and a lot more. But we do still have clairs and have fun with that. So we're not boring like the only, stuff. So tune in.